Music telling me to stop. Is that I'm about to start? I got it. Understand me. Every child of God has got to deal with what is common to man. And you have to understand your intellectual capacity, your cognitive energy, your creativity becomes significant in your operation on a day-to-day basis. Now, you can sit around and think it's going to come from heaven. It ain't coming. If a man does not work, the Bible said he shouldn't eat. You have to operate within the parameters of your giftedness. And it's your giftedness that blesses you. And I say to every parent in here who's got a child, take your children through every process. Watch them in every single thing they do and find what they have a proclivity for and feed them in that area. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, not in the way you want him to go. That little boy you got, he can't be a doctor. He's a mechanic. You trying to make a doctor out of a mechanic. He ain't going to make it. You just want him to be a doctor. Oh, I want my child to be a doctor. No, that boy is a mechanic. Take him over there. And he will not depart from it. I want to talk to some real Christians. I'm tired of the stuff that everybody's throwing out that's not giving you the right attitude and response to who you are. Everybody's throwing some mystical, ontological stuff in the air. And Christians are frustrated because they're saying, we've done everything we were told to do, but we see no results. Talk to me, saints. I paid my tithes. I've given my money. And still yet here comes Irma, here comes Harvey, and I'm wasted. Because you and I didn't pray like we should have for the leadership we have. So we got a president don't believe in global warming. See how quiet you got? When the Lord said, pray for your government. Did you read that? We prayed for everything, but we didn't pray for the people we put over us. Look at Isaiah chapter 3. And you will find in Isaiah chapter 3 that he put leaders over you who have no clue. And he calls that oppression. So he oppresses us by giving us leaders who have no clue. And all of us suffer because we didn't pray for our government. I'm closing. The evangelicals can't say nothing to me. I'm sorry, sweetheart. The evangelicals can't say nothing. If they had me in an orgy, they couldn't say nothing to me. Because 80% of them decided to vote for a man who declares he would grab.
Yeah.
80% of these righteous people, and I put them all on spot. I said, half of your congregation are black men. When do you all ever stand up to the police and say you're locking up my members? Now, you all can sit here quiet. because you're all so religious and so spiritual. When the police stop me, I put my hands out and my feet out. I got my hands and my feet out, both of my sticking out the window. I teach my brothers, I say, brothers, stick everything out the window. The man said you look for your wallet, don't go for nothing. Because that'll keep your husband coming home to you. Hear me when I tell you. You're all real religious. I see all your spirituality. You all be all night praying. I don't know why you all would pray all night. You all need all night prayer, right? I did 6 sermons on the model prayer. I did 6 messages on the model prayer. 6 on the model prayer. I said to my congregation, clock when I start and clock when I finish. 27 to 31 seconds. The Lord is my, that's a shepherd. That's over in Psalms 23. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Check it from the opening to the end. And the disciples said, teach us how to pray. Isn't that what they said? Yes. So he gave them one model prayer. When you all talk about the Lord's Prayer, let me tell you what the Lord's Prayer is. John 17 is the Lord's Prayer. Matthew 6 is the model prayer. 26 to 31 seconds. When the guys ask him to teach us how to pray. Right? Why y'all praying all night? I'm not trying to break up your relationship with your pastor. All I want to know is, why y'all praying all night? That makes you more spiritual? 26 to 31 seconds. Read it and check it. And they asked him, teach us how to pray. And the prayer was 21 seconds. He said, why are you praying all night when I know what you have need of before you ask me? The problem with the 21st century church is it no longer relates to the people who need to be touched. So we're all 60% down in attendance. We don't relate to our brothers. You cannot have church, my Ethiopian brother, you cannot have church if you're not dealing with 1/3 of our boys are in the system. 92% of the time, when a man joins a church, his family does. 15% when a woman joins, her family does. We have ignored our brothers because we have been woman-friendly as pastors, and we haven't touched the men in our lives. I'm going on. Let me tell you this. I thank God that I can put 500 or 600 men in a choir in a church. Why? My assembly is 50% men. It ain't 80% women and no men. Because you got to relate to 1 out of every 3 that's in the system. I told the governor yesterday, I said, now, let me tell you this. Whenever you got to the place where California is saying to Alabama and to Georgia, we'll take your excess prisoners. And the war on drugs was a war on blacks and browns. And that's why you sisters sitting up here single, how many of you ain't got a husband? Ain't got a man in view? You know what I tell my sisters in church? Get you a Chinese man, get you a Korean, get you whatever it is that look. Get you whatever it is. Why? Because we don't bring men into the church. We bring the iconoclastic disposition of women. But we need men in the house of God. We need my brother right there. We need my brothers. My brothers. My brothers.